Weeds podcast, where the headlines are finished, what the deep dives last. With Amber and Alaura on the mic, you dig, we dig it deeper on the dive till the truth comes to light. A military broadcast radio, tune in to the strangest stories with a skeptical grin. Stranger things have happened, but it's all real life, like exhuming dead bodies in the middle of the night. Paranormal whispers in the back of the hall, mysteries in the shadows over nightfall. Alaura throws sass with a snarky attack, and Amber's got the facts and the case file stacked. The headlines are wild like a gypsy rose thread. Everybody's talking, we go deeper instead. So buckle up tight if you're ready to proceed. The truth goes deep when you enter the weeds. Into the Weeds with Amber and Alaura on Military Broadcast Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Alaura, and Amber is currently gone. She's actually on a 26th anniversary road trip with my father. So a big happy 26th anniversary to both of them. They are both super cool, and I know in this day and age, a lot of people do not last that long, and I can tell you they are just as in love with each other now as they were when I was a child. So I feel very blessed to have both of my parents together in my life. I love you both, and I hope that you're having fun. I think they're going to go see the Redwoods in Oregon. Yeah, in Oregon. I think now they're in Iowa. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, they're sending us a bunch of cool pictures, so go ahead and check our community tab. Sorry, English isn't happening for me today. Anyway, go ahead and check our community tab to see all the pictures that she's posting. So anyway, thank you all for joining us today. I see Ryan Love, Persia Black. My mother is tuning in, even though she's on our honeymoon anniversary trip. We have Fluffy Muffin, Toxic Barbie, Magical Mess, Christine Sadler, New Orleans Lady, XOXO Doll ASMR, and I think that's about all I'm seeing at the moment. So if I missed you, I'm sorry, but just thank you everyone for joining us. So today we're going to be going over a few different things that have happened this week in true crime. I will be getting to Gypsy towards the very end of the video. So for now, we're mostly going to be talking about Joseph Duggar and also the Gilgo Beach serial killer, because there's a lot of new updates in those cases. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest of the week up. So thank you so much to Millennial.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hi, Millennial. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How you doing today?
Good. Doing great. Good to see everyone.
So have you seen a little bit of what's been going on with the Gilgo Beach trial? Or, well, it's not even a trial now. Did you see how he confessed?
Yeah, he changed. I haven't got into the details yet of why he confessed to, I believe it's 7 murders and 1 homicide. What is the difference there? But I've been watching some of that.
So I have like a minute video, and I'm hoping it shouldn't be an issue, but I might stop it like once just to make sure, all things considered. But it's just like a little 1-minute video, and I think it covers some of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it right now real quick.
Wearing a black suit and white button-up, the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer making a stunning admission before a packed courtroom.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and of your own free will? Yes.
62-year-old Rex Hewerman pled guilty to the murders of 7 women and admitted to an uncharged 8th killing of Karen Vergata, all strangled and dumped in remote parts of Long Island from 1993 to 2010. Long-awaited answers for victims' families.
Through every year, every setback, every unanswered question, I carried you with me, and I kept that promise. And today it has been done.
Investigators cracked the case through cell phone data and DNA from a trashed pizza crust, arresting Hewerman in 2023. At his Massapequa Park home, investigators found nearly 280 guns, magazines covering the Gilgo Beach murders, and a disturbing document to plan out his kills. His attorney called today's guilty plea a relief for Huerman.
He certainly wanted to save the families of the victims, the ordeal of going.
And I'm pausing it just to make sure we're good. But did you see that smirk that he has on his face?
Yes, he is so creepy.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Honestly, I feel like this probably shows the gist of it. And I don't want to get in too much trouble on accident by playing a news clip. But yeah, it's insane. And the lawyer I guess I turned it off too soon, but the lawyer starts talking about how he wanted to save the victims of this crime, the families, all of the pain. But if you guys remember, he was using burner phones to taunt the victims' families for Lord knows how long. So I don't really buy that.
Well, and some of it happened in the basement, and I don't understand how no one in the family was ever aware, and it went on for a really long period of time. So I just really, I understand that they've been officially cleared, but I'm really side-eyeing the wife especially.
I'm definitely side-eyeing the wife as well. I actually have this small video.
And Melissa Moore set her up a GoFundMe and got her thousands before she was officially cleared, when they were still investigating her because of her DNA being found on a victim.
No, absolutely. Melissa Moore, to all y'all watching, since mostly everybody watches this for gypsy content, it's like insane. It just seems like she's at the scene of the crime for like every bad thing that happens.
Yeah.
She was funding or at least helping Gypsy with her book, with her media connections and all of that. And now here she is with the Gilgo family. And part of me empathizes, but also seeing the way that Asa, his, I guess now estranged wife, technically on paper, but that's complicated. But the way she talks about him is just insane. So let me go ahead and get this one back up here. Sorry, I'm not great with my.
You're good. I've heard that she's basically admitted that the divorce was just so that she wouldn't lose the house.
No, absolutely. She doesn't lose the house and all the other assets and stuff like that. And she still, I mean, I think this is the video where you can see just how happy she is to talk to him, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
What did you have for dinner? Oh, just a burger and some mashed potatoes. Okay. Yeah, I'll eat up here late tomorrow. I'll try to take a walk.
I mean, look at that like smile. She's like in paradise, just knowing that she's being able to talk to him. And it's like, I want to believe that he preyed on somebody that was very manipulatable. Is that a word? You know what I mean? Someone that was down on their luck, There's
word she was abused before.
Yes.
And
that's what she says.
Yeah, I believe had been, I don't know if it's confirmed, so I hesitate to even say it, but I remember reading a rumor that she had done sex work before.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue about that one. That's something I hadn't heard personally, but I know that she had at least confirmed she had left what she said was an abusive relationship, and Rex was her hero, and he took care of her son, who was from the previous marriage, and maybe he just found her in a rough spot. Maybe it's more than that, but let's play a little bit more of this. I'm just looking at her face. Just pay attention to her facial expressions. It's kind of sad.
Today because they were just uncoordinated. And I'm still seeing you on Friday. Yes, you are. Okay. I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay. I will see you on Friday. Yes. Bye. Bye. I'm talking to him all the time. But he only has a certain amount of time to be able to make calls. So I can't get too comfortable talking to him about things that are going to hurt him.
Oh, yeah, she's worried about things that are going to hurt him.
Yeah, any thoughts on that?
My God, like,
Yeah.
Well, it's just clear where her loyalty is. Like you said,
Mhm.
if there is some mental health issues there and abuse, it doesn't excuse
Mhm.
her standing by a serial killer. I
Mhm.
feel like everyone pretty well knew he was guilty, even though obviously innocent until proven guilty in a court of law and all that. But
Mhm.
it just appeared pretty obvious. And it hurts that there's still no resolution to the first victim that was found on Long Island Beach and started all this, Shannon Gilbert.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
still not known for sure if she was his victim or someone else's, but her being found and her mother's dedication started off the finding of all these bodies.
Mhm. Yeah, and the victims are really who's most important here. And he confessed to an additional victim that he was not charged with.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm convinced that that was every person.
I
Maybe
think
this
there
is
was
my
more.
yeah, maybe this is my little tinfoil hat moment. I don't know if you have your tinfoil hat, but I don't want to get too tinfoil hat with it. But I think that potentially he might have admitted to an additional person so that it looked like oh, I see your hat. So sorry, I looked down for a second and I look up and it's like pointy. I'm not trying to laugh at this, by the way. I want to make everyone very clear. I just kind of laugh in unfortunate, awkward moments. But yeah, I almost wonder if he confessed to an additional murder that he wasn't charged with, so that it's like, okay, well, this is it, and I even provided you an additional person, so don't look at anything else, and I'm not trying to accuse his wife or daughter of any wrongdoing, but the way she's acting is odd. And then, have you ever seen the drawings of the daughter?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They're very creepy. And I don't know if thank you, Joy. I just looked over at the comments, so I'll check out
Oh, I
Dave,
haven't been looking at it all.
Toxic Barbie, Christian. Hey, Audrey, Fluffy
Hello,
Muffin,
everyone. Sorry, I'm
Persia.
kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, the daughter's art is very creepy, not just the art that she created herself, but what she was sharing. Now, as an artist, I'm full aware a lot of people get really into macabre art, and especially at a younger age. But, you know, you just things that seem innocent in the context of the fact that we know he was doing murders in the basement, and some of the art she was sharing is eerily similar to the way that they were chopped up and put in the bags. So,
Yes, absolutely. So Colleen is asking what's the art? So it's kind of gory. And it's very, as Millennial said, it's very reminiscent of kind of the crime. So I would recommend Googling it just because I don't know how YouTube will like me putting it up here and I don't want to have any additional issues with the stream. But I mean, I don't know. She seems to be a lot more grounded in reality than her mother, though, at least from
I
what I've
haven't
seen.
saw the whole documentary. I've watched mainly news clips of them, and yeah, it's I don't
I've
know.
watched clips.
The mom doesn't seem to even realize how she comes across to the public or how devoted she seems to him.
I don't think she cares. I think
Maybe
she
so.
has this thought in her mind, and love is blind. They say, I guess. It's just it's really sad, and also the fact that they're able to stay in that home is very alarming to me. I mean, I guess I do understand, especially in this economy, sometimes you don't really have a choice. Um,
Didn't Melissa Moore get them $80,000 in a GoFundMe?
Allegedly, I don't recall what is this. I have it on a separate tab. Um, It says, and this is just I hate AI, but Google sends me the Google AI overview, but it says raising over
Oh,
$23,000.
okay.
So don't know if they received all of that. I don't know if GoFundMe takes out a certain chunk. I don't know if that's exactly accurate. That was just the first thing that popped up whenever I Googled it earlier. But $23,000 and even $80,000 doesn't really buy a house. So,
No, but it would allow you to get, a temporary move and try
yeah,
and,
rental or
sell that
something.
land
Yeah.
property at least or something like that.
Yeah.
But back to your point of why did he give up an extra person? I can imagine he did some sort of negotiating that would probably protect his family because they are standing by him.
That it seemed they said something along the lines of they're not supposed to try to prosecute anything further with these victims, not try to bring other people into it or anything like that. And I think that was supposed to be a
Interesting.
stipulation. So,
Well, there
yeah.
are this case goes really, really deep whenever you start
Mhm.
looking into the layers. It's a lot like Gypsy Rose.
Yeah.
There was some really, really weird crap going on along that beach. He may
Mhm.
not have been alone in the community. There might have been, other dudes, and who
Yes.
knows if there were other people involved, but what they're not helping his family behind the scenes in order to convince him to cut a deal like that.
Yeah.
Just speculating.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. Let's see.
Probably heard butter things up. Um, telling him that I love him, that will hurt him. The two of us were married for 27 years.
She was very beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, telling him that she loves him is what's gonna hurt him.
I feel like she realized that she kind of fucked up and let something slip there and had to think of something to say. It
Yeah.
wouldn't sound so incriminating.
Yeah, I could also see maybe if you're in a time of crisis, something too emotional, maybe he's kind of emotionally distant, and the idea that his wife still loves him might hurt him, make him emotional. I mean, that's me just trying to see what she's trying to say. I feel like I can kind of
Well,
understand it if I can't explain it.
I feel like that's a thing she said because
Mhm.
people will find it understandable
Yeah, no, that's a very
after
fair
she
point.
said and spent some time trying to think of what to say after.
And it looks like they're actually filming another, I don't know if it's a documentary or a special or what, but I saw this video. Oh, darn, I wish I would
Wonder
have
if
saved it.
wonder if Melissa Moore's in on it.
Again, she seems to be there when a lot of things happen, and I almost feel like, as much as I do not like Gypsy, as much as I do side eye this family, Melissa Moore strikes me as an opportunist that is kind of taking advantage of these situations and these people, whether for better or for worse. There could be something deeper there as well. But I just don't quite understand her motivations, and I don't really see them as pure.
Well, it said a lot to me whenever I started looking into her history, and I realized that she spent most of her childhood and teen years without actually sharing using the same last name as her dad.
Mhm.
So whenever she chose to come out publicly as his daughter and be a public figure about it, that was totally her choice. Now that's fine to do, but then it hit me as even weirder
Mhm.
whenever she decided that she wanted to take her kids to meet him
Mhm.
and then use the opportunity to go on the Dr. Phil show for Dr. Phil and Oprah to talk her out of it, but she still
Mhm.
took them to meet him anyway.
Yeah, I'm
And she
sure.
did that knowing that
Mhm.
her grandpa, her dad's dad, told her that her dad confessed to him that he was considering killing his kids, including her.
That's absolutely insane. Real quick, I just want to thank, I almost said 1980, 1970. I see that you've gifted some memberships. I really appreciate it. We always love seeing you in the comments. Thank you for watching us and supporting your wife as well. Yeah, no.
A Fluffy Muffin has a good point there that I forgot to mention. Melissa Moore's dad did write to Rex Human, the Long Island serial killer in prison.
Really?
Apparently, according to him, he says he encouraged him to confess. He said it did him good to confess and encouraged him. I
Yeah.
think he gets a thrill out of confessing, though, Melissa Moore's dad. She said whenever her and her family went to see him, that one of the first things he said was, "Do you want to know why I did it?" Like all excited.
Yeah, a lot of people just love that attention. I have a feeling that Brian Koberger might kind of over the years be like, okay, I might give you this little nugget and this little nugget because he gets
Mhm.
bored, you know?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of killers seem to think of their work as like a work of art. It's something they can brag about. It's
Mhm.
something they can be like, oh, you didn't know this, and it's something they can hold over your head, and it's a
Yeah.
I don't like to diagnose, but a very narcissistic, you know, thing that's going on there, you know?
A little gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely want to keep an eye on the new developments with this. Darn, I really cannot remember who I saw, but there was a creator or a journalist of some sort that actually showed up to their home and was talking to Asa's lawyer. And she got to stand on the porch, and then Asa came out, and Asa couldn't say anything. But when she came out, there was like a big camera that was filming her. So obviously, they can't answer certain questions um, until everything's finalized. But it's also like, if you didn't know about something or if you're innocent, why would it really matter if you said something now? Why would you have to wait? You know?
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to be jeopardizing your husband's standing because, I mean, he already confessed. I mean, I know he can take it back, but there's nothing more that you can say that's going to change what he already said.
Well, I don't know if you know that. She might accidentally spill the beans and let loose of a detail that leads to more victims.
Well,
If
that's what
she
I'm
knows
saying.
everything,
But that's the point is
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah, your point is if
mhm,
she's innocent, that
yeah,
shouldn't be a problem. I just don't think she is. So I'm like, well,
yeah.
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I hate to accuse or side eye or
Yeah.
speculate about people, but
Yeah, this is
this
all
gypsy
alleged.
thing. Yeah, it's all alleged. Very big fat alleged stamp there. But with the gypsy thing, that's shown me that yeah, you don't want
Oh
to
my
question a
god, yeah.
victim, but when can you stop? Or when do you just like stop ignoring all of the red flags, all of the evidence and proof and facts?
Well, even to this day, stuff that we heard back in 2024 that we thought was way too crazy to be true, we're still finding out over and over here and there that no, that happened.
Yeah, more and more stuff's coming out, and we'll get to some of it later, a little bit. Oh, thank you so much, Claire Power.
Oh,
Really
thank you,
appreciate
Claire.
it. I need to add some more members only stuff, but I did something about a month ago, a stream, book review stream with Uncorked. Well, actually, it's not Uncorked with Brandy anymore. It's Brandy and the Dragon's Den. And then we have a couple other small things on there, but yeah, so thank you so much for that. But yeah, I really want to keep an eye on this Gilgo Beach thing. It's very sad. It's very scary. His just demeanor. I'm not trying to make like a comment about his looks, but it's almost like an ogre like
Yes.
presence. It's very, very terrifying.
Yeah, the women who have survived run-ins with him
Mhm.
have talked about how terrifying his size is because as soon as you suddenly get the vibe from him that he's not
Mhm.
safe, all of a sudden, all you can realize is his size and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I can only imagine. I saw some video maybe like 6 months to a year ago where some person around my age saw him in like a restaurant or something like that, and he came up and
Mhm.
tried to talk to her, and she just thought he was creepy, so she recorded him. And then like a few months later, it's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
I just had a run in with a serial killer. I wonder who I've potentially run into in my life.
I getcha. Oh, thank you, Jules.
Oh, thank you so much, Jules. We really appreciate it. But yeah, so I think that's about all that I have to say about Gilgo Beach
Gigo.
right now,
Mhm.
and about Rex Heuermann. May he rot in prison, and may the victims' families find peace, and
I
maybe
really hope that he hasn't struck some sort of deal that keeps other perpetrators involved from coming to light. That's my big hope.
No, absolutely. I pray that for all of the other Jane and John Does that have been found, that are able to find your killers and figure out what's going on,
And Shannon Gilbert's family needs answers.
and Shannon Gilbert's family as well. So yeah, so that's that. Another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, but I didn't pull anything up, so I might try and look something up here in a second. So the Duggars. There's been a lot more developments with this. Have you seen anything about it? I know you don't follow them as much as I do.
I watched Kyla's channel breakdowns
Oh,
on
yeah.
some of it, and I saw some of the calls between him and Kendra,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Yeah.
were talking all happy about kicking the victim's family out of their home or something like that.
Yes. I have so many complicated feelings about it. Well, first and foremost, I do understand that Kendra was raised kind of in a cult-like mentality. I understand that this religion, and not just Christianity, but this specific branch of whatever the heck they're doing, it very much cultivates victims, people that are compliant, people that just obey their husbands and just stick with them no matter what. But as much as I empathize with that, and I pray that she breaks away from this, it's really disturbing to hear them laughing about this sort of thing and treating it like such a nothing. Like they'll just talk about all kinds of extra stuff. And she's definitely anxious. I heard her kind of having some breakdowns in the call, and I can imagine why. I mean, that would cause any person to go into a total panic mode, but it seems to me like some of that panic is misplaced.
It's
I
hard
just
for
hate.
me to have appropriate sympathy because the Duggars are really triggering for me.
Yes.
Because I did not grow up in the same religion, but it was a very
Mhm.
similar environment, had to dress the same. No one I grew up around had it as a part of their religion that you need to have a bunch of kids. Like that just wasn't part of
Mhm.
the thing. But the similar dress, the similar,
Mhm.
so much about that is, the homeschooling and stuff is very similar, and um, it's hard for me to understand growing up in that and not running off from home as soon as you can, like I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't believe that I have a good outlook there.
Mhm.
I think that my experience, make me kind of biased and off towards that. I think you're more on the right path because everybody is different and they react to those kinds of things differently. But it is hard for me to listen to her and think in any way that this is, someone who is a groomed victim because she's a full
Mhm.
adult.
Yes. Yeah, and she's a full adult, and I don't really want to talk too much about the victim or
Mhm.
who that may be, even though it's pretty out there. But I'm just going to say that the people that have brought forth this, while I have my own separate issues with them as well, if they can say something about this or do something about this, then I don't understand why she can't process it in her head. It was somebody close to them because it was somebody that was on vacation with them. So how can you see that happening to someone that you care about, somebody that you know, and then just kind of dismiss it like it's nothing and support him through everything? I
Yeah.
guess only time will tell, but I can't deal with another Anna, another Anna Duggar,
Yeah.
because I mean, children are the most vulnerable people, um, children and the elderly, and
Yeah, and have there been accusations at Jim Bob?
while I do not want to speculate too much, a lot of people kind of go along that line of thinking that it might be true.
Nothing official though.
The only accusations I've heard are cheating accusations, but I haven't heard anything more nefarious. However, Jim Bob's Jimmy Lee Duggar does have allegations from multiple people, and it was actually written about in Amy Duggar King's book, Holy Disruptor. And I have thoughts about Amy as well, but I don't think that she has any reason to not tell the truth about this.
Gotcha.
To anybody who doesn't know, since we're just talking about it, I kind of will assume that some of the viewers don't know a whole backstory, but my mother, Amber, her Sunday school teacher for several years was Mary Duggar, Jim Bob Duggar's mother. So she's only met the Duggar family one time, aside from just obviously Mary. She never met Jimmy Lee. But according to Amy Duggar, there were multiple people of varying ages that accused Jimmy Lee of inappropriate acts. And Mary Duggar allowed him to continue to live with her as Amy and her mother Deanna moved back in after Amy was after Amy was a child, and she would just have them lock the door every night. And I just personally do not believe that's enough to lock the door and to continue that person to live in your home.
Well, like I said, I've not seen much of the Duggars show, but I remember when it came out, and it was so triggering for me because, like I said, I run off from home in my late teens, and it was really hard. It was a rough time and everything, and very vociferously rejected all the religion of my childhood and everything, the strict conservatism, the long dresses, the long hair.
Yeah.
And it was a few years later that all of a sudden the Duggars are on TV. And some of the people who didn't like, that I'd run away and done that, used that to kind of like pick at me like, oh, look, all that stuff you rejected, it's getting popular. It's on TV now. And I remember watching a few times and I was like, oh no, it's one of those whenever I heard Jim Bob, because it seemed like constantly to the boys, the girls, whatever, he was always like, I know what boys think about, no matter what they were doing. Like they moved their hair, they stood up, whatever. And I know what boys, and it's like, he's a freaking creep, in my opinion. And I recognized an attitude in him that I'd seen in other evangelical preachers of a certain type who always get accusations. So that's why I've just wondered.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially Bill Gothard being the head of the IBLP, which is, I don't even know if it's a church necessarily, but it's like a church/program thing that they're involved with. But he has several accusations to the point where he actually had to resign. I think he resigned in 2014, which was about a year before the Ashley Madison scandal, and then the Megyn Kelly interview came out and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Jim Bob, though, he's on my shit list because it's one thing maybe having a son that does something like that and still communicating with him in prison occasionally is one thing, but to pay for their defense, to run for office. He was running for office in 2021 whenever Joe, or I'm sorry, Joe's the one who's in the shit in the seat right now. But Josh, oh my goodness, I don't know why I forgot his name. I've only seen like a trillion videos about this anyway. But yeah, so when Josh was on trial, he was running for office. He's been paying for all the defenses. And then also with this most recent thing with Joe, he flew down to Florida 3 days before Joe arrived in Florida and then bailed him out immediately. He put $60,000 down, if I remember correctly, for a $600,000 bail or bond bid, whatever. Anyway, but yeah. And it's like, why would you do that? Is there something that he knows that you want him to shut up about? Is it just because you don't care and you're willing to defend your family's name no matter what? I will say, have you seen the video of Michelle Duggar being harassed?
Yeah.
So, as much as I don't like Michelle, guys, don't be following people home and don't be getting up in their face and trying to ask them for comment. We've seen how that's worked in our own community. People getting up in people's faces asking for comments. So, you know, I don't think that harassing Michelle or any of the other Duggars is really going to fix the situation. I don't know what the solution is, but
I have mixed feelings. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were starting.
No, that's about it.
Just because the people were on a public road, not necessarily on their property, from what I understand, and she walked onto the public road to confront them. She didn't have to make that choice. She could have called the police and said there's a weird car on the public road that's been staying here for a long time, but she chose to walk out there and engage. And so as you know, maybe they shouldn't have been on the public road. I really don't approve of driving by people's houses like that, filming and stuff. At the same time, as far as the interaction and harassment, she's the one who made the choice to come onto that space off their property and engage.
Yes. To my knowledge, I think he actually followed them home. Like, I think he saw them pull out from somewhere else.
My bad.
And then, according to other people, I think that he was like chasing them, like, and they were like kind of speeding. They were going all kinds of way, kind of like a chase kind of thing. And
no, I only saw just them talking on the road.
Yeah. And well, that's just what I heard. I'll have to double check, fact check, and I will put something on our community tab if it ends up being incorrect. But I do think that he followed them. I think that picture of the car, of them driving on the road, where there's like bullet holes in the car. Did you see that? Bullet holes in the car door? Yeah, there's a picture of them driving down the road with bullet holes in the car door. And I think that was also taken by him. And it was on the road before they even got home. So
bullet holes. Why are the real bullet holes are those stickers that people like to put on their vehicles that look like bullet holes because people get fooled by those.
Now it was bullet holes.
Okay.
It wasn't. It more looked like bullet dents. Yes. However, what I've heard, and take this with a grain of salt because I don't know how accurate it is, but they kind of like will buy like trashed cars and they'll like do stuff to them to fix them up a little bit and then they'll like resell them and make money.
Yeah,
somebody said that might be the reason why they had the car. Again, I do not know. I cannot guarantee that. Take that with a grain of salt. That is just what I've heard speculated. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. That being said, yeah, no, they're a mess. I don't have any respect for, at this moment in time, really any of the Duggars. You know, I do respect Jill and Derek for kind of getting out of that mold, although they do still have some things that they probably need to work through and kind of deconstruct, in my personal opinion. But I do appreciate the fact that they stay calling out the Duggars, because they've been taking advantage of people. And I do not think that this is the last Duggar arrest. I really don't.
Yeah, and the way that they support the boys in prison is weird because I could almost understand it if they were getting out of prison and they're like, well, look, we're the family responsible for them. They shouldn't be foisted upon the rest of society. We're going to take them in and keep them private and away from people kind of thing. But to support them so hardcore in prison and try and like, you know, fight their sentence and stuff when they've confessed to them, it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing. Joe, allegedly, according to so many different sources, has confessed. And I believe he's trying to plead not guilty. So I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to work in my mind. And he's very adamant about wanting a jury trial. And with wanting a jury trial, that means that the victim is going to have to sit up there and be questioned. You know, I'm sure that I know the victim was questioned.
They're a minor, right?
Yeah, they're 14. 14. And
that's probably why he's pushing for a jury trial.
to just further traumatize the victim. It's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And like you said, they were laughing about the prospect of the victim and their family getting kicked out of their home. And now I don't want to elaborate too much. One, because I can't confirm everything, and two, because I really don't want to talk about the victim too much. But it seems like there might be a little bit more there, where it might have been the reasonable conclusion for them to get kicked out anyway.
Mhm.
However, all of this stuff to happen all at once is kind of too crazy. And it almost makes me wonder if this incident might have been known about beforehand, and is only reported now that some retaliation is starting to happen. But I really have no clue. I don't want to make any accusations towards anybody. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It's
Either however it happened, honestly, like, if
Mhm.
he has confessed, it's just not cool for Kendra to be on the phone giggling about hard
No,
times for the
no,
victim and her family with him. Like, just
no, I
what?
agree.
And someone said in the comments, I guess he's still their son, but I'd be like, "Not in my house." Yeah, I getcha. I
No,
was
I
trying
totally
to
agree.
trying to say that, if he was getting out of prison, some support to keep him away and, the rest of society safe from him
Mhm.
as family might be understandable, but supporting him in prison to me
Yeah.
just says they're on his side no matter what, guilty or not.
Absolutely. And, I'm not trying to come off as like me being defensive of Kendra or any of the Duggars, because honestly, screw all of them. But it is interesting how I've seen, again, not that she doesn't deserve some of the flack, but it does seem a lot of times that the women will get a lot more of the shit than the people that are actually like actively committing the crimes. But you know what? It's possible that she was committing crimes as well, because she's also she got arrested and they're investigating her at the moment. It seems like they had some locks on the outside of their doors, and there was somebody who was like a source from the family who came out and spoke to, I think, maybe People or something like that, and was saying drop my phone or something. Anyway, but yeah, they were saying that, oh, it was just locks on the outside of the doors. It was just locks. But is it just locks? Like, that's horrible. You shouldn't be locking children in their rooms in the middle of the night where there could be a fire. They could have to go to the bathroom. They could have to soil themselves. It's just like, what's the point? And it seems like a lot of the Duggars participate in stuff like that.
Yeah, I have heard some people who have children with severe mental health problems say that there are situations where it's necessary for other families' safety and makes sense, but I can't imagine that myself overnight for all the reasons that you stated, but I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
And in the greater context of everything we know about the Duggars and how they were really into the Michael and Debbie Pearl
Yeah.
corporal discipline, blanket training, and all that stuff, I can just imagine there's probably something horrible behind those locks.
Absolutely. To anybody who doesn't know what blanket training is or who Debbie and Michael Pearl are, they wrote a book called To Train Up a Child, and I'm sure they've done several other things as well. But
Mhm.
in To Train Up a Child, they talk about how to, raise a good and godly child in the proper way as God intends. And one of the things that they teach early in the early stages of life is they put a baby on a blanket and they just make the baby stay on that blanket. And if the baby deviates, they correct them. And that's even something that Michelle
They
Duggar
whack 'em with
directly
a stick.
speaks about.
You give them a little
Yes,
pinch,
yes, they will
whatever they
hit
respond
or
to best.
abuse the baby. Yes. And until they basically break their spirit to where they don't want to move, they don't want to do
Mhm.
anything. That's not the way that you treat a baby. I mean, I'm not a parent, um, nor do I particularly want to be, but babies are the most innocent, pure, sweet things on this earth. They have nothing to do with anything. To be hitting them and yelling at them when they move off a blanket, what they're supposed to
Yeah.
do, natural curiosity.
Well, Debbie Pearl also wrote a book for wives called Created to Be His Helpmeet. And I remember, gosh, it was almost 20 years ago, I was about to divorce my ex. And one of my friends is like, "Oh, you need to read this book before you do that. It helped me so much." And she gave me a copy and I was looking at it. I started thumbing through it. I'm just laughing like, "Oh my God, this is nuts." One of the things that stands out to me is she wrote that you have to cater to a man's pride because it's a natural thing that God gave them and it's holy. And her example was that her husband was taking out the trash and the bag split and the trash fell out everywhere and it embarrassed him, so he stomped off mad, and she ran out scrambling to pick it all and clean it up so he wouldn't have to see it and be embarrassed again. I'm like, "Oh my God." Like, I love my husband very much. Our marriage could be considered pretty much traditional, but he knows if he spills the trash, I'm gonna giggle.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the pearls are a really vile example of what these fundamentalist communities have to offer. And again,
Yeah.
we here are not, shitting on anybody who's religious. By all
Mhm.
means, be religious, but be religious in a way where you're not harming others, you're not hurting people, bringing people.
Be good to yourself too, like, if you make sure your religion makes you happy,
No,
not
absolutely.
afraid.
And that you shouldn't just be a good person because of your religion. You should be a good person because that's what's inside of you. You don't have to be religious to have morals or ethics, it should be your own choice. You shouldn't be forced into any of this stuff. And this whole Duggar thing, it's like people will talk about what some of the people are doing, like the women or something, like the girls, and their parenting styles or just different things they ignore. And then it just kind of further reinforces what Jim Bob and everybody else has been telling them, that the outside world is evil. And, we're the only ones that can protect you, that they're just going to bully you out there and all that sort of thing. And then it drives them back into the arms. But it's also like you're an adult and you just need to kind of learn that that's not how it is. But then it's complicated. It's a swinging pendulum constantly, and there's no right answer. But people need to be held accountable. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like, even if you have been in an abusive relationship or had bad parents, you can grow from it.
Yeah, like, it's not an excuse.
Mhm.
And even if something is a reason for why a brain developed that way, it's
Mhm.
not an excuse for giving in to, any violent impulses or, SA impulses that hurt other people, even if it happened to you before. We just have to be better.
Yeah, and for them, the Duggars especially are like so sex motivated. It's like everything that Jim Bob has ever talked about, it's like
Mhm.
he's just always thinking sex, 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 sex.
Well, and he puts it in the kids' heads all the time too, that they're
Yes,
thinking about sex when they probably might not even be.
of course. And it's like, of course they're doing things they shouldn't be, you know what I mean, with that much emphasis put on it. And it's the woman's fault for showing her shoulders or for doing this or for talking to
Mhm.
you in a sweet voice. And something else that's especially pissing me off is there were some emails that came out. I think they were released by Lily Archive on YouTube. So big shout out to her for getting some of the emails. But she got emails between Joseph and Jim Bob. And Jim Bob said, he was quoting King David. He was talking about King David and how he made mistakes. Well, King David was thought of as a man after God's own heart. But, I think he started kind of talking about or insinuating things about the story of, was it Bathsheba that was on the roof?
Yeah.
You were raised religious. Okay. Yeah, Bathsheba on the roof. Well,
He
that
saw her
almost
bathing
seems,
naked and he sent her husband in the front lines to war so he would be killed and he could take her.
and it almost seems like, could she even consent there? Because what are you supposed to do if the king does all of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's all ancient tribal cultures. There wasn't any consent or equality. And usually, I mean, in ancient Egypt, whenever a pharaoh died, all of his family was killed. Like down to from the eldest to the most infant, whenever the new pharaoh took over, so that there would be no challenges from another royal bloodline.
That's insane. That's
What's
horrible.
wild about that too is I remember attending this lecture by Kara Cooney, a female Egyptologist, whenever I lived in St. Louis. Yeah, she
Really?
came to give a lecture. She was talking about Hatshepsut. She was a female pharaoh, one of the few. And she said that as a feminist, whenever she first started researching her, she was expecting in her mind, like not making a pre-conclusion, but just thinking like likely at some point, I'm probably going to find how different she was, how different her reign was. She said what she actually ended up finding was Hatshepsut obtained and maintained power exactly like every male pharaoh through absolute blood and domination.
Wow.
So
I
it
love
seems
hearing
like absolute power corrupts.
Oh, no kidding. I love hearing you talk about history. You get like this little smile on your face and you get so excited. I just
Oh, I
love
love
seeing it.
history.
It's awesome.
Random
No,
facts.
I love hearing about history. I'm not as good as like at reciting it, but I love taking in the information. I love a good museum.
Thank you.
Speaking of like the Egyptians and St. Louis, maybe in October I went to the art museum in St. Louis. And
Yes.
they had like the mummies there, and I've seen mummies
Yes.
before, but I was like, oh, that's super cool. And my boyfriend
Yeah.
was like, oh, if you look in the bottom and you look in a certain way, you can see his toe sticking out. And I was like, oh my goodness.
If you lay on the floor beside the mummies
Yes.
and look up, you can see how the top underside of the sarcophagus is painted. One of those mummies was a singer in the Pharaoh's court.
Really?
Yeah, when I lived in St. Louis, because the St.
Uh-huh.
Louis Art Museum is free, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, all
Mhm.
of us residents of St. Louis paid a 1% tax to fund that and the Science Center and the zoo so that everyone can go. And I loved going to the art museum to just get inspiration anytime. And it was wild because you could go see modern art and you can go see a Rembrandt and you could go see mummies and get all kinds of inspired.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I think it's super cool. I only got to visit the art museum that day because there was a lot going on and it was rainy and cold. But I want to go to the zoo, and they have a history museum as well, right?
Yeah, I used to show there sometimes.
Really?
They send me
Oh,
some videos.
I don't want to reveal something. I'm just gonna say that I saw an ad on Facebook and I sent it to my mother. And that's something I would love to do. It's a volunteer opportunity with the museum type vibe, we'll say. And I was really interested in it, but I was like, at the moment, I don't really have a lot of time to volunteer.
Mhm.
But my mom has a little bit extra time on her hands. So I was like, oh, and I sent her
Yeah.
over that. So she might end up kind of doing something like that, which I think would be super cool. Not
I
to
actually
expose
was
you on
showing art in there, the Missouri History Museum down in
Mhm.
Forest Park, you know, the big marble one and stuff.
Yeah.
The Latino Festival Incorporated of St. Louis had a big Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead festival
Oh,
there every
yeah.
year. And they
I
would
didn't see
have
that.
an art show inside that marble hall with all the windows,
Mhm.
and they would invite us local artists to make art and come show it there, and I showed there every year for, like, 6 years with the
Yeah.
Latin festival, and it was so, so cool
That's
because they would do a
awesome.
traditional Day of the Dead parade and come through with the flags, and whenever I
Oh.
moved away from there, a couple of the ladies bought a couple of my Santa Muerte paintings for their traditional altar, so even though I'm not there, my art is still there.
Oh, that's so
Whenever they
awesome to
do that.
hear. I wanna get more plugged into, like, community things like that, even if I'm
Mhm.
not I don't have the gift. If you see right here, she painted this right here, Kawana Parker. I don't have the artistic gift, but I would love to just be able to go to stuff like that and help out and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So it's exciting because Missouri sucks in a lot of ways, but it's also beautiful in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of cool opportunities that I didn't think would be here until I moved here. I'm like,
definitely.
wow, there's cool stuff happening all the time, especially where I live specifically. Um,
A lot of hidden gems.
there's more hidden gems than I thought. There's a couple things that are coming to town and stuff that I'm super excited about. And there's also just stuff happening in life that I'm super excited about. So there's a lot coming. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but that's really all I really have to say about Joe at the moment because I don't want to speculate too much about what's going on. I just kind of want to let the court proceedings happen. And here on the Into the Weeds podcast channel, we'll try and keep you guys updated with some of the stuff that's happening. But I can't keep track of everything. And you never know what to believe or who to believe. Some of the people that talk about the Duggars, you can't always trust everything they're saying. And there's also people with ulterior motives behind the scenes. Like a lot of the sources are trying to push an agenda as well. And yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait for legal documents to come out for us to know for sure. And that's the best way to do it though, because we could have felt a certain way about Gypsy back in the day, but the legal documents came out, and thanks, Mom. But the legal documents came out, and it's something totally different.
Amber revealed a trove of information, and we were all like, that's part of what I was saying earlier. A lot of things that we heard in 2024 just sounded so insane. And then we got the emails, and then we got the videos, and it's like, oh.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about Gypsy here in a second, but this is another thing. Letitia Stouch. I didn't follow that trial as much.
I don't know anything about that one.
You know what it is though, right? A little bit.
Barely. So, DID or something like that?
The what?
Does she claim DID or something like that?
It's potential, but she was a stepmom that took her stepson's life. And he was like really young. I don't recall the exact age. Again, I didn't follow it too much because it made me so sad, because I know that I heard like a video of her, he did something and I don't recall what it was, but she was telling him, oh, well, you did this, so we're going to have to sell your clothes or sell the couch. We're going to have to do all this stuff. And he's just bawling. And I can't listen to some child abuse stuff like that. Oh, Oates came out to say hi. Anyway, but yeah, I couldn't really listen to it. But yeah, so Letitia Stout is getting a new trial. And I'm very curious to see how that unfolds. I'm pretty confident she's still going to be found guilty, but I think that it's horrible that she decided that she wants to put the family through that again.
Yeah, for real.
So, my mom commented, she said burning the carpet. She followed it. I can't. 11, oh my goodness, 11 years old.
Yeah, I don't like watching stuff like that either. I don't.
No. Yeah, it's too much for me, but justice for Gannon. I'm so sorry to the family for having to go through that again. But on a different note, Gypsy. So she got banned from TikTok this week, it seems. She didn't get it back, did she? I heard somebody say she got it back, but I couldn't find her account.
I don't know. I've been blocked. But I haven't seen like anyone confirm on Reddit or anything like that she's back. So who knows? I mean, honestly, I expect she'll probably get it back because she always seems to slither through somehow.
Yeah. Does anyone know exactly? I haven't even been able to figure out exactly what's going on. It was just somebody just reported her a shit ton of times, and
she said it was mass reporting. That's what she told TMZ. But I did see on Reddit. Let me go see if I can find it again real quick. Since I already looked at it, it probably won't want to show me that post again. But
did Haiti Joyless post something? I don't even remember what I was watching. I don't remember if I was watching a TikTok or if I was watching a YouTube video. Haiti, if you just happen to be in chat, I'm sure you are, but no, I think that she posted something where she showed receipts of somebody that had reported her a bunch of times, one specific person reported her a bunch of times and got responses on all the reports, and that might have been what did her in addition to anything else she's had issues with. I actually really don't know that much about it.
Okay, so on GRB Snark, user Mindless Lobster 014 posted a screenshot. It says, update on my previous post regarding your new account now being banned. It says, update regarding your TikTok support ticket. Thanks for reaching out. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Our records indicate that this account was banned for a violation of our community guidelines, and an appeal is being reviewed by the team. So they were trying to report the fact that, hey, her account is banned, but she has a backup. And they got some sort of standard that said, official Gypsy Rose or this was banned for community guidelines and appeal is being reviewed. So community guidelines doesn't seem like it would indicate mass reporting, but I don't know that much about TikTok or how their language goes.
Me neither. I really have no clue. And again, I'm just coming from seeing bits and pieces of stuff. I haven't tried too hard to put it together. I've been kind of busy today, and yesterday as well. So I just wasn't sure, but it is very interesting. She is just the gift that keeps giving.
Well, and someone posted 7 hours ago, Apart Summer 879 posted in Jiggerby Snark a screenshot where apparently Gypsy posted on her story a screenshot of OnlyFans reaching out to her. And
what?
Yeah, it says, "Hi Gypsy, I'm on the OnlyFans team. We think you would do great for the platform. Are you interested in jumping on a quick Zoom call to talk potential strategy and how the platform can work for you?" Gypsy screenshotted it and posted it to her story saying, "Okay, I'm going to tame it on down. You start to question where you're heading when you get an offer from OF, LOL. We are going to pivot on a bit, bring it on back a little." And of course, everyone's assuming that she's just trying to prove she could be on OnlyFans if she wanted to.
Well, anyone can.
Well, they were saying that OnlyFans doesn't allow felons.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
assuming she's not getting scammed.
That is also a thing. Also, like, just OnlyFans. Okay, so you guys can disagree with me, whatever. I do not have a problem with sex work. I am pro sex workers, although I do think that a lot of the people that engage in that on the other end are very predatory, and there's a lot of bad things that go into it. So I don't promote it. However, the people in my life that have been in and out of that community, I love and I respect to the fullest extent. However, OnlyFans is so predatory. Like, so predatory. You can even get like I know certain content creators and stuff like that, it's almost like an MLM. You can like recruit people to join OnlyFans and you get like a certain kickback. You get a certain kickback for people that join that are underneath you.
I wonder if she got something like that.
It's very possible. A lot of people that join underneath someone else and they get a kickback. And I don't know if that kickback lasts indefinitely or if it's just for a certain amount of time or a one-time thing. But, something to me, you could set your stuff, especially if you were somebody who doesn't have a following, like a 9 million following, like Gypsy, because she would find somebody to buy her stuff, even if it was just out of hate or spite. But if you're like a really small person who doesn't even have an online following, you can set it to like $5 a month and someone can see all of this about you for just $5. Just something about that to me just feels sad, and not towards that person. They didn't do anything wrong. You're in a situation in which you need some financial help, and I understand, but just the way that the system works, they try and advertise as something that's super liberating. And at the end of the day, a lot of times they just take advantage of you. It's just the system.
Yeah, that's sad because I feel the same. Like, I have no problem with sex work. I just want the people engaging in it to be safe and consenting adults.
100%. It's really sad. And again, a lot of people who get involved in it are just kind of in a rough spot in life, and people just take advantage of that, and it's really sad.
Something we know from all of our information covering on Gypsy is one thing she is not concerned about is safe and consenting adults.
No kidding. I don't normally like to. Oop, you okay? Sorry, Oatsy moved a little weird. I don't normally talk about like every little thing that Gypsy does, but since we're talking about like S work kind of thing, well, this isn't even S work, so I don't know why it made me think of this, but did you see that video of her and the Hooter girl uniform, but she was like in the prison emails talking all this shit about Hooters girls.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, y'all, tell me in the chat if I just
I remember
hallucinated
the
it.
prison emails, but I haven't saw the video.
I swear to God, she like dressed up as like a Hooters girl or something. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody in the chat told me if I was hallucinating it. Hold up.
There's
I'm
no
Googling it right now.
consistency with Gypsy Rose ever. It's all about what's for the moment.
Okay, it's not showing it to me on an initial. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is Bing. It's not even Google. I hate that. What the heck? Hold up. Let me share the screen real quick. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. There we go. She got a Hooters uniform. I actually have a Hooters shirt. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah, I've had lots of friends that have worked at Hooters at different times, and they're predatory people that come in there like anywhere else. You just got to be aware.
I totally would work there if there was one closer to me, but I do not like their wings. I don't.
I don't like their food at all. I'm not a big fan of chain bar food type stuff. You know, I love a little independent bar that's like got just real good plain food, maybe with a little spruce up twist or something or other. But chain places like Hooters and Applebee's and stuff, just bleh.
Real quick, my mom said Nana's Hooters shirt. Okay, so it wasn't Nana, it was Grandma's. So, well, you commented. Am I allowed to say it? I probably shouldn't. I'm just gonna say there's a Hooters shirt in my family that was worn by an elderly woman where it's like a Hooters shirt, but underneath there's some pantyhose, and the pantyhose look like long breasts that are hanging out the side of it or the bottom of it. And that's all I'm going to say about that without embarrassing anyone.
That's funny.
Yeah, that one's a fun party trick. That's a fun party trick. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you on the chain restaurants. Will say though, this is kind of regional. Wing House is kind of in the same vein as Hooters, but instead of like boobs, it's more butts, and they have like amazing wings. Like, it's so good. I went to Wing House when I was in Florida last time. I've been there a ton, but when I was in Florida last time, I went to a My Chemical Romance concert, and I showed up too early, and I was like waiting for the concert. So I went to a Wing House, and I was having some drinks and stuff like that, and they were dressed up for the concert because they were right next to it. So apparently they would dress up based on the theme. Like if it's a country artist, they'll have like country hats and stuff. But since this is like an emo artist, they all wore like fishnets and like black and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
So fun.
So yeah, I really like
I'm
it.
not against, I can't say I'm above all chain restaurants because I love a Hardee's mushroom and Swiss burger. And I feel like my desire for a Hardee's mushroom and Swiss burger has cursed me because it's no problem in Missouri. There are Hardee's everywhere.
Yeah.
It was no problem in Mississippi. There's Hardee's everywhere when I lived there. Then I moved to Oklahoma, and I'm like, well, crap, there's no Hardee's in this small town. And so for a while, like every time we'd be going to like Oklahoma City, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some Hardee's, and we get where we're going, and I'm like, well, weird, there's no Hardee's around. And we go to Tulsa, and like, oh, I'm gonna get some Hardee's, and there's no Hardee's. Went to Dallas, no Hardee's. We went to Denver to meet y'all for CrimeCon. And I'm like,
yes.
The first thing I'm going to do is have a mushroom and Swiss door dashed to that convention center. And we get there and there's no Hardee's. And I'm like, what is going on? So I Googled it and I found out Hardee's company also owns Carl's Jr. And because Hardee's started on the East Coast in Appalachia and Carl's Jr. started on the West Coast in California, they divided the damn nation. And you can't get Hardee's past Missouri, west of Missouri. And I have forever like to move just a little bit where I can only get Hardee's when I go back home.
So is there not a Carl's Jr.? Because I was about to say, do you not have Carl's Jr.? Is there not a Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. doesn't do the mushroom and Swiss burger.
Oh, really? I thought they were
Yeah,
like the
they're
exact
not
same
the
thing, just
same.
different names. Kind of like
No,
Checkers
they're
and
not the
Rallies.
same at all. Carl's Jr.
Really?
sucks. It's gross. Yeah.
Can anyone
And
in the
Hardee's is
comments
delicious.
really? Can anyone in the comments tell me if Checkers and Rallies has the same items on the menu, or is it different? There's no Checkers or Rallies in my part of Missouri. I haven't seen one since I went to
Never
Florida.
heard of a Checkers and Rallies.
You don't know what a Checkers or Rallies?
I don't.
Go away. Go away. Sound off in the chat if you like a Checkers curly fry, okay?
I'm gone.
It's like Checkers is like, oh my God. I can't believe you don't know. I haven't even had Checkers in forever. I remember when I went to Florida for the first time since I moved, I was driving around my hometown and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen a Checkers in forever. Yeah, no, it's like a drive-through burger joint type thing. It's not that great. I mean, it's standard BS drive-through food, but you can either walk up to the counter.
This isn't great either. I just love it.
Hey, there's some things I don't like. I am gonna regret saying this on the internet. I really am. One day I will regret saying this. I'm a bad queer person for this, but I like a good Chick-fil-A chicken mini.
What?
I know I'm supposed to be boycotting Chick-fil-A, but their chicken minis, their breakfast, oh, it's good. It's good. I know I'm
You
a
made
bad
Popeyes, right? Like I feel like Chick-fil-A is like I saw a picture one time, it was a meme. It was comparing Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. And underneath Chick-fil-A was like a very plain marching band and with a saxophone, and underneath Popeyes was like a New Orleans jazz performer doing a backbend with a saxophone.
Okay, I'll give you that. Now, I'm not crazy about Chick-fil-A's like just general chicken sandwiches.
Snowflake says you're
chicken
canceled in the
minis
comments.
and buffalo. What was it?
You've been canceled in the comments. Says we're
No,
canceling
I
Alaura.
know. I get it. But that's why I'm like, I should say they. I mean, I know y'all are joking, but like it's a serious thing around here. A boycott on Subway. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I mean,
Honestly, Brandy, I'm kind of with you. I don't like to boycott either. It feels like a trigger from the religious days, but it really upset me when I found out that at a point Chick-fil-A was donating money to conversion camps, and I just didn't want even a quarter of a penny that I spent to go to that. So I do get you though.
I
Like
agree.
whenever I hear boycott, it reminds me of being a deeply evangelical, homeschool kid and hearing I got to check the labels for Procter and Gamble. Because Procter and Gamble said there weren't enough Christians to put them out of business, so we can't buy them. And they make everything.
Oh my goodness. Or this is unrelated to like the gay aspect or like a religious aspect, but like Nestle like owns everything, but they also like are horrible with like child labor and stuff in other countries and all this
Stealing
other stuff.
water and like leaving communities dry water and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda said Chick-fil-A's devil's balls chicken sandwich is fire. Again, I'm not that big on their chicken sandwiches. It's like too much, but those little chicken minis are good. I'm sorry, please don't cancel me, or do. It's fine.
We still love you. It's okay.
I don't get them all the time. I've cut down. And funny enough, that boy in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru is always a gay man. Always. So yeah. Anyway, that being
I know
said,
a lot of gay people that I grew up with in the, like I said, deeply conservative evangelical church. We look like the Duggars, or we actually look way more conservative than the Duggars. We would never have been allowed to trim our hair the way the Duggar women do, and some of the jewelry and obvious like little makeup that they wear. Like, no, we was going barefaced, looking ugly.
yeah. Yeah, speaking of the Duggars' hair, have you heard about the perm stuff and the situation with that?
I wasn't allowed to get perms when I was a kid because it damages your hair. You're just trying to make your hair short.
Yeah, well, so they're not allowed to do, I don't really think they wear much makeup, if at all. They don't, I mean, you've seen the way they dress, you know what I mean?
They wear makeup. Trust me, I know what it's like when no one wears makeup. They're wearing the no makeup look.
I would say I would agree. I would say that I would agree, especially even like Michelle, you can see something going on there. Not that it looks bad, but yeah.
Bangs.
Absolutely. But
That
yeah,
would
they're
have got
not.
us that would have got an exorcism on us. Like the devil took us over and we trimmed our glory and the angels are on top of our head because of the hair. And oh man, like how do we let Satan in like that? Now our whole family's gonna be in danger.
I'm so sorry that you went through that.
It ain't no thing
Yeah.
anymore. I've had plenty of therapy.
Yeah, but the Duggars will trim their hair a little bit. They're not supposed to really cut it, but they
Yeah, they're
do get
way more
perms.
liberal.
Yeah, they get perms. It's crazy to even hear the Duggars be called liberal, but I understand because I mean I've seen pictures of you back in the day, and I'm not shaking my head because of you, but just because
No, I get it.
the whole yeah. Sorry. Oh, okay, that's the right microphone. Sorry, I started coughing and I couldn't figure out which microphone was
No,
muted.
you're good.
But no, the Duggars perm their hair because Jim Bob finds long curly hair to be attractive. And some of them have naturally curly hair, but most of them don't. And it's like, why would you do something that your father finds attractive? I mean, just why would it matter that you're why would it matter that you are attracted to your daughters? Like, or
Michael and Debbie Pearl teach that young women should practice being pleasing to their father as he is their spiritual head until they get a husband.
The umbrella of authority. It's an umbrella. The top of the umbrella is God, and then underneath that is the father, and then the mother, and then the children, and then you're underneath. You have to be underneath the umbrella of authority, or else all hell will break loose. So whenever you marry, you transfer. Yeah, when you marry, you transfer from your father's umbrella to your husband's umbrella. And the Duggar daughters actually, like, their husbands had to take like questionnaires, like before they were able to marry the daughters. Like, you're doing this, you're doing that, and they come and they talk to you and be a whole thing. And again, still disagree with some of the decisions of Jill and Derek, but I respect the hell out of Derek for just defending Jill. And once he got in there, he like kind of was like, we're not doing this shit anymore. And you know, she's been supported by him, and I love that. I think that's great. Yeah. So veering off of that subject a little bit, just something I was thinking about before we get off or anything, or not that I'm trying to rush that, but just the next thing that I wanted to spend a little time on. So it has recently been revealed that Gypsy Rose officially was trying to get some of our channels taken down. I see you're pouring another drink. I feel like that's me right now. I need that to talk about this. We're not going to get too crazy, y'all. Oh, what is it?
Prosecco. It's Italian
Prosecco.
Champagne.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty good. I like a good champagne.
I feel like it's not quite as bubbly burpy as French champagne.
Oh, yeah. I like a little bubble, but I understand what you're saying. I literally just had a beatbox and I was trying not to burp the whole time. Anyway, but yeah, so Gypsy Rose, she officially was trying to go after some channels. It's been confirmed. I mean, we've had our suspicions for years. There was a video that was put out by Becca Scoops. I might actually try and find, what did my mom send me?
Sullen Beauty has a clip of just the Gyp part, the clips.
Cool. So you know what? I think we're gonna listen to that. Please, Sullen Beauty, don't get us. If not, we'll
please don't strike us. It's all love.
I hope it's okay. And then Becca, please also don't strike us. It's less love, but we're still gonna go with it. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this so y'all know what's going on. Let me make sure there's no ads or anything. Okay. So big shout out to Sullen Beauty for
clipping
this. Okay. So this is very interesting. It's about 12 minutes. I don't think Sullen Beauty will clip me, but I might stop a couple times if I have something that I want to talk about. So
You probably
we're
ought
just
to pause just in case so Google's AI isn't like, ooh,
Yeah.
Sullen Beauty may not care, but you're not going to do that.
But big shout out to Sullen Beauty. I've heard about you before, so I really appreciate seeing this video. It's good to have. So thank you so much, and everyone go ahead and subscribe to her and look at her video.
Up and get this video uploaded just in case anybody was feeling bad for Gypsy Rose Blanchard after she got bananaed from TikTok on a 9 million follower account, because there are so many of you that are just too trusting and have been duped into thinking that Gypsy is a victim or thinking that Gypsy is a good person, and she is neither one of those things, and this clip helps solidify that. So I just want to say thank you to Becca Scoops for sharing this with us, and thank you to the Mole specifically, because I know what it's like to have your TikTok account banned after putting in a year's worth of work. Luckily, I was able to get my account back, but I don't think it was any coincidence that all the videos I lost, the hundreds and hundreds of videos I never got back, were mainly Gypsy Manson videos. Whether I'm a small creator or not, if they don't like what you're saying, they're going to try to shut you down, and karma has finally rolled back around, and it's
That is a big thing. They don't care how small you are, and it's insane that she will literally follow or jump on to people that have 100 subscribers or 1,000 or 100,000 subscribers. She doesn't care.
It is really weird. Like, I wasn't even monetized yet whenever I had like Christy Blanchard and Bree in my comments. And even though I was making videos roasting Gypsy, because at the time I was also calling out Fancy on some things, they didn't care how small I was or anything. And whenever I stopped that, whenever Fancy copyright struck me and I didn't want to give her my information to fight it, then, you know, they completely started trying to get me on their side by sending little subliminal messages. But yeah, I couldn't believe how much time they put into my content when I wasn't even big enough to be monetized.
Yeah.
They would do comments. They didn't send messages, but they would do comments all the time. It was wild.
I've never heard of somebody who watches like every single thing that is made about them. Like, oh my goodness, we have such a small channel here, and I don't watch every single thing that's made about me, but she has such a platform, and you know, whether people love her, hate her, or don't care, I mean, I just can't imagine. And I feel like even if she hasn't consumed everything, somebody in her realm has. And it's I cannot imagine keeping up with all of that. That's exhausting. I can't even text people back that I love dearly, okay?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. But I'm gonna press play on this again. I'm gonna
Gypsy's turn.
I'm gonna take my face down because I might take a pee break. I will pause it again. Sullen Beauty, I'm not trying to steal your content. Same with Becca Scoops. Yeah, anyway, much love.
And I've done told people that in the comments. I made a story about it. I'm like, for now, this is just like, this is my style of content. I know that it's different. It is podcast style, but that's just short form content because you can only post up to 2.5 minutes on Instagram. And yeah, I post some of that on YouTube, but you know, right now I'm in the process of making those contractual deals that I can't, risk putting out a long form just yet because that might hurt the actual podcast I'm trying to create. So
we get it. We get it, Gypsy.
They just like digging. They just like making fun. They like digging. That's all it is.
Right strikes on Into the Weeds.
Okay, this person is going to be saying, hey, can you get more strikes? Can you get more copyright strikes on Into the Weeds? This is what this person is saying to Gypsy.
And get that whole channel taken down.
I need to, but the thing is, okay.
So Gypsy goes, I need to, meaning I need to get more strikes on them.
It's only contingent on if they show content of mine on my platforms like Instagram, YouTube, things like that. If they show, for example, they chop it up and they put commentary, they pause, they talk about it, that's fair use. Now, if they show the whole video on live stream or if they just repost it, that's copyright. I don't have copyright to the point.
I wonder if you can bait them by posting something, I don't know, posting something so juicy that they're going to play it. You know what I mean? Bait them.
I think that they would be smart enough. Like, I haven't gone after Becca yet, because I don't know if I'm giving her too much credit, but I feel like she would know not to do something dumb like that.
Right.
They got 2 more and they're out. Like, believe it or not, I did not take down Winebox Poppy. I had nothing to do with that. Neither did Ken.
That's
So
good
I
to
don't
know because
I
I've
don't
been
know
hearing
how
that
they felt about
everywhere.
getting out.
Who's even thought about his ass? I haven't.
I know. I
He was a
watched
wannabe.
one live stream with him. That's it. Like, I don't even know if he
To be
did just
fair,
content.
well, he's just gross in general. He really degrades women. He uses the R word. Wow,
That's
he's
probably
very
why I
nasty.
didn't
I don't know
take it
if you
down.
watched any content. Right.
No, I watched, like, when he joined Morbid's live panel, and this was probably like in March or April, and he was saying things like I should go kill myself and things like that. I documented all of that. But like after that live stream, I never gave him a second thought again and never watched him again.
Sure.
So he got his own ass banned.
He sure did.
It
He's
occurs to
irrelevant
these
to us.
people
Like,
that we may not be the only ones who doesn't like someone. You know?
It's all put back on
Gypsy,
us, though. You know that.
Gypsy Crystal wants you to read. Definitely look into Starlight's channel. Surely she's played a whole video without stopping.
Okay. I can go and check them out. Unfortunately, there's no blocking on YouTube. You can hide a user, but there's no blocking. So they can't
Starlight is
block me.
convinced. Starlight's convinced that Into the Weeds is going to win the appeal. Like her and Haiti Joyless were saying that on Keisha's panel earlier, saying that they'll win the appeal, but I don't think so.
I don't know. And me and Ken were just talking about it because Ken said something. I remember like when I was using the PR team, Red Banyan, they had copyright struck Conspiracy and Nina. Okay, so one of Nina's videos did get taken down and she lost the appeal. That's when she like posted my baby shower or gender reveal video. But I wonder if like what's the follow-up to that? So say they lose the appeal, or say they win the appeal, and then I have to like withdraw, or they lose the appeal. Do I really have to like sue them and take them to court and get legal representation and all that? Or is it just they take down the content, they get a strike, boom, it's over?
I mean, as far as I know, yeah, basically. And then if they get 2 more, they lose their whole channel. And these people, like, I mean, Starlight, for example, has been working for years. It's like an ongoing joke to build her.
The only time
followers.
you'd have to go to court is if they try to fight it, and they want to push
I
it.
bet they would.
Mm.
They'd be like, spend her money.
Well, then they would have to have representation too. And do you think that they have that kind of money?
No,
I don't.
No.
They probably grifted enough.
They would have a whole damn GoFundMe for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be a waste
You know
because
it.
if your copyright falls within the what you can strike it for, then they'll lose. Because even like fair use, you can use it and you can argue it, but at the end of the day, it's still your content. And if you don't want them to use it, then you kind of have the upper hand. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Put 16 videos up in one day on Gypsy. That was I went and counted it.
She did say that one of them got took down, and I know I went and reported every single one of them on her Instagram. I'm wondering, I hadn't looked. Maybe one of them got took down. I don't know if it was from me, but just saying.
No, it was on TikTok though. Like she posted 16 videos in one day about Gypsy. Like that is insane. But yeah, it's a lot of content. So we can pick 1 or 2 bigger creators, like Into the Weeds, maybe Becca, and then start going through their videos and see what we can, find. Maybe do something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It would definitely be helpful instead of me having to pour through every single creator and like try to nitpick and go through.
Am I speaking? Oh, okay. Sorry. I was making sure I was speaking in the right microphone. I also have some random profile picture on here. It's for something else. Anyway, okay. So I missed some of that because I went to the bathroom and grabbed a drink. That being said, they are really salty. How old is this? I mean, it had to have been when we were doing, probably when she first copyright struck my mom and I, like 2 months ago. We're in April?
I assume. I found it funny too that, whenever they said they could start looking through y'all's and Becca's videos, Gypsy was like, oh yeah, that'd be so helpful instead of me having to pour over every creator as if she has to. Like, you could literally live your life.
Yeah, I don't know if we've gotten to this point in it yet or not, but she talks at some point about how Reddit is her top priority and getting rid of the Reddit. And it's like, why is that your top priority? Do you not have a baby? Do you not have
Right, yeah.
aspirations? Do you not have bills to pay? But that's your
When is she gonna do a group in her church?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the church in a while. Yeah,
I'm just posting about OnlyFans now.
I mean, and the funny thing is, like, maybe there's been once or twice that we've deviated from this that I can't think of off the top of my head, but we don't really make fun of her. We just kind of tell it how it is. We talk about her when it's relevant. I think it's somewhere in here they talk about how we were supposed to stop talking about her, but then we talked about her again. But we're only talking about things that we find relevant. I'm not, my mom and I don't really care to talk about every little thing she does. We don't keep up with every little thing she does. But sue us. I mean, well, don't literally sue us. I mean, do sue. I mean, there's nothing to sue us over. Anyway, that was an expression, but all I was trying to say is, like, God forbid people criticize a mommy murderer. We're not being rude. We're not talking about your looks. We're not talking about things that you can't change. And I don't feel like we are or you are. I don't think any of us are overly rude about the situation. It's just, it is what it is. We call out the bullshit, but that's what we should be doing. You know, we shouldn't just let people get away with whatever she's doing wrong. So, you know, the evidence shows. Whenever we first started looking into her, I still liked Gypsy, but oh, bless you. But over the last few years, over the last few years since she's been out of prison, she's just shown her true colors time and time again. At what point are we supposed to just stop ignoring it?
Yeah. Well, and she's one to call out anyone for consistency. How often has she quit this, quit that, come back, give away her TikTok, took it back? Like, she's done being a public figure. Y'all got what you want. And then I'm just going to be a public figure anyway. Yeah.
And for such a long time, she could decide whether or not she had a TikTok account. And now that it's been taken down, it's out of her hands. And I'm sure she's not having a great time processing through all of that.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm going to play a little bit more of this just to hear what she's got to say. Sorry, I walked out for a little bit, so I don't remember everything. But okay, let's hear it.
All of their content to try to find these little hidden gems of my content to strike them with.
You hire somebody.
I don't want. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, can't you hire somebody to do that?
I do not have nobody to do that. I am my own free person. I don't got a manager. I don't got a PR team. I ain't got nobody. I ain't working with Lifetime. I am on my own.
I wonder if that was by choice or if that's just because she did her shit.
Oh, does she not have the FBI? She's on her own. I guess they're in this call or whatever.
I mean, it sounds like a consequence of her own actions. I'm sure that ideally she would still have managers or PR teams and whatnot. And I can't imagine that she was a particularly great client to have. She's kind of a PR nightmare.
Well, wasn't Mike Stanfield managing her? Did she run out of money?
I don't know, man. I do know that whenever I met
up too much.
I know that whenever I met Mike Stanfield, he seemed absolutely done with her, at least done with the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just done with Fancy and what was going on there, but he just seemed kind of over
Fancy and Sarah. I can see that.
I can't blame him. As much as I dislike him, I can't blame him, but I think he was just over it, and maybe money played a factor in it, maybe reputation, but I can imagine it's probably exhausting to have to deal with her like this.
Joe King Rogue in the comments said, can you imagine trying to work with her professionally? Oh my God, no, because like everything she does feels like it's always this over-performative emotional act. Even what she's saying right here, I don't got nobody, I don't got nothing. We know like that's all a put on, you know.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna press play again. Oop.
Yeah, no, but I know that there's like companies that can do it. I'm pretty sure that there's like companies or whatever that do that, because like with the bigger people, like the bigger name people, they'll have their, you know, their whatever copyright striking things that are obviously copywritten. You know what I mean? Like, so there's people that do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I would. I mean, it's worth a shot, you know.
And then why was the easy way for Disney to report them? Like, easy way.
Yeah, if she
That's
finds
all.
one, you just gotta put in the report. It's not really, from my understanding, in depth.
I wonder if they're gonna put out because like the address, because you have to put your address and phone number. So Ken and I share the YouTube account. And so what he would do is put like if he's copyright struck someone or wrote a copyright claim or whatever, he would use his old address in Dallas. Ken lives in Dallas. I'm waiting for that to happen.
How do if we got a video where you take a neck, they'll now get to put the videos.
I don't have copyright over any of those because that's, you know, part of the FOIAs. And a lot of their videos are just that. They're the FOIAs. So I won't have any luck in that department.
No. I don't know
Oh,
why.
you guys,
You can
you
hear the
guys,
Discord
you guys,
go
let me
off.
read this real quick. Okay, so copyright enforcement companies, often called anti-piracy firms, content protection agencies, etc., actively find copyright infringement strikes for media, music, and software using technology to track illegal.
What you thinking, Millennial?
I accidentally had my actual microphone muted. Whenever she was talking about how she's waiting for somebody to start saying Ken lives in Dallas because he's using an old address in the copyright strikes, I just wanted to say that just goes to show how deep her instinct to rage bait constantly is. Like that's even like private rage baiting, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Downloads and uploads, and it gives you all these examples. So I looked up the cost, and it says that it's basically for each takedown, it can be from 100 to 300 per issue.
Oh.
That is nothing.
Are we really worth $100 to $300 per copyright strike? I don't think we are. We're not the only people calling her out.
It's funny to me that all these people are saying, oh, that's nothing, that's nothing. And then Gypsy's like, wait, is that per report? She really doesn't like to spend money on something that, you know, isn't something she can actually show off on TikTok.
It at least seems that they think that she has a little bit more money than she probably does have.
That's the impression I'm getting as well.
They think, oh, money is no object. You got this. And then even if she has, I mean, I'm sure she has more money than I do because I'm poor as hell, but me personally. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be spending this money on this stuff. I wouldn't be spending my time. I mean, you have a daughter in her most important developmental stages right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Neither of us are in that situation. And both of us have had people take our whole videos without permission and just repost them. And we've never copyright struck anybody.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I have not seen this personally myself, but I've had several people reach out to us saying that somebody plays our streams and falls asleep during them. I don't even know if it's true or not, but you know, I know lots of people take our content and like, it is what it is. It's just a matter of being online on the internet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've had some people ask if they can repost my videos, and sometimes I've given permission, and then other people who have never spoke to whatsoever, I've seen reposted them without any changes. But I'm not about to start copyright striking people and deal with that. It's not where my focus is. I just I don't
mean,
understand why Jip has all this time.
I want to say maybe there will come a day one day where I feel the need or my mom feels the need to copyright strike, but it's going to take a lot to get us to that point. You know, I just don't see a point in trying to take somebody down.
There are, I'm not saying there's definitely situations where it's warranted. I'm not saying it's always off the table, but yeah, none of us are going after petty strikes.
Well, especially, and I'm not trying to say
strikes when we just don't want to waste the time.
For sure. And it's like, you know, not to say people that have less viewers are worth less, but it's like, why would somebody with 9 million followers be prioritizing taking all this time out of her life to strike down channels that have like less than 10,000? Because we, you know, like we were really small when all this stuff started happening. It's like, what's the point? They're watching videos that barely get any views just to see what people are saying about them.
I can't imagine having a lifetime contract and 9 million
Mhm.
following and feeling the need to try and control and respond to every comment and opinion. Because, I mean, we all know I've had some Gyp defenders come at me, some of them people that she wrote in prison emails. Say some pretty wild stuff to me, and I felt no compulsion to respond at all. I just when it got to where they were harassing everyone else in my comments, I hid them from the channel and alerted everyone that I'd hid them. And that's literally all I felt the need to respond.
I get that. We've hidden very few people from our channel, but sometimes you have to do it. I get it. I even had somebody, I've actually had this happen a couple times where I've talked to someone and they've said that they're going to report somebody that I don't particularly like within the universe that our content lies. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of a faux pas. That's kind of something you really shouldn't do. And
Yeah.
not that I think these people are bad people necessarily or anything. It's just like, it's not the best use of time and effort, in my opinion, to just be copyright striking people all willy-nilly.
I agree completely.
So again, there's time and place, 100%, but it's not like she's producing any like crazy content that we're jacking from her, she's pretty low effort.
The time she copyright struck y'all was a live stream. I was on panel with y'all and a bunch of other people. The live was, wasn't it over 3 hours long?
Yeah. And
Right
it was
at-
like a minute or two that we had.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 hours and 2 minutes or something like that. The clip y'all played from Gypsy was a 2-minute, 30-second podcast, and she claimed and struck the entire live because you didn't pause in that 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, the entire live. That's insane, right?
Yeah, nuts.
And again, we probably should have done it a little differently. I wasn't really thinking, and it just kind of happened. Whatever, but we
It was
got it
such
back.
a short clip. Y'all didn't think about pausing, but yeah, you got it back. Hey, oh, how sweet, Rebrand.
Yeah, I was just about to say thank you so much, Rebrand, and also anybody who's watching right now. I forgot what time zone I'm in, but it's 6:42 p.m. where I'm at, and at 8:30 p.m. I should be going live with Rebranded Story on her channel. So go ahead and subscribe to her, and I'm going to tune in for a little bit. Don't know how long I'm going to hang because I'm getting a little sleepy, but I'm sure I'll be fine by then. But yeah, we're going to be talking with Rebrand. So yeah, I'll put her back on one more time really quick. Rebranded Story. Click on her profile, and I'm going to be live on there in like 2 hours. So
nice.
Yes. So thank you again so much. I really appreciate it. We're just going to talk a little bit about the situation, although I don't know too much about what's going on with this ban. I'm confused. So I'm going to play a little bit more of this.
Cool. I thought it'd be like thousands of dollars. It's between $100 and $300 per issue with provider. And the provider is like the company that the anti-piracy firm. That's what they charge.
Per issue? What does that mean? Per report?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, but if they
I
can get it taken down.
broke.
But between $100 and $300, like if let's say 2 more strikes, let's just say you focus on Into the Weeds, right? They only need 2 more. Okay. Let's say they can they do it for you, I mean, these are companies that's what they do.
Yeah, it's not like it would take a whole lot of strikes. 3 strikes and you're out. So yeah.
Right. And they already have 1. So just like 2 more. And and this is not like on a large scale. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know these people think that like Into the Weeds are a big creator, but they're really not. I follow people on TikTok. I was talking about it the other day that when you go into their live, they have 14,000 people in their lives talking about politics. like Into the Weeds having 700 or 1,000 is not a big content creator. So I mean, I don't see.
I'd like to cut in and say real quick, yeah, we're real small content creators. All that being said, since we're super small content creators, why does it matter? Like even the biggest content creator, in the Gyp, I don't even want to call it that, but just this whole universe of content. Nobody's huge, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we're all just small channels.
It really stood out to me. What on earth did Gypsy mean whenever they were like, yeah, 1 to 300? I thought it would be thousands. And she was like, girl, I'm going to just give myself a rock. What is she going to do with a rock?
I have no clue. I went to the bathroom again, to be honest, so I wasn't paying attention. But yeah.
That was a little creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just.
What's she going to do with a rock?
Like a rock? Like, ooh. Like, you mean
Yeah.
like that? Oh.
Yeah, because they were talking about the copyright strikes and they said someone can handle it for 1 to 300 per issue. And she goes, you mean per report? And they were like, yeah, I thought it would be thousands. And Gypsy was like, girl, I'll just give myself a rock.
Girl,
the
we ain't
fuck
worth
gonna deal with a rock to y'all.
We ain't worth all that. Like, again, like we've been nice to her in places where we've got a lot of heat for being nice or understanding towards her. I don't understand what the problem is. We're just being. I don't want to say I was a fan of Gypsy necessarily, because that's probably not the word I would use. But whenever I first heard of her, I didn't have an issue with her. I liked her. I supported her. And it wasn't until after I went to the court case that I really understood the gravity of how bad it really was. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, I defended you and I've still been nice. And my mom said nice things about you that just gotten us heat that we probably shouldn't have said. So I don't know what would warrant her being this damn angry at us. We didn't do shit.
She's going to come after you with a rock.
Please don't. That would be so dumb. So dumb. But anyway, I'm going to press play on this just a little bit more.
That they would charge a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not fighting on a mass, level, like huge. This is on a small scale in reference to, like what's out there.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's worth looking into.
Definitely.
When they had this live, because I thought they said they was laying down Gypsy content. I thought they just said
This was
released a
last
statement.
night. This was last night.
We said we're not doing Gypsy content unless there's something to say. We don't unless there's something to say. But like, shit, you keep giving us stuff to say. I don't cover every little thing you do, but goodness gracious, you don't stop.
Right? She's a content, like, just volcano. Because even if like, I don't care to cover every dance video or blah, 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 whatever that she does, but there's always something coming out she does that's just really crazy or egregious.
Absolutely. Also, hi, Lexi. Are you coming to CrimeCon this year? Because I'll be at CrimeCon. I don't think Millennial's able to make it this year.
No, I was going to until I realized that I have a family graduation to go to at the same time. So I'm not going to be able to make it this year, but hopefully next year.
Totally understand. And then let's see. Kung Fu Panda says, I'm going after the military veteran channel with a rock. Okay. Yeah, literally, like, I'll give it to you. I'm rude. I had this conversation with somebody in my real life recently. I'm rude. I am. But my mom, she is like the sweetest flower. She is sweet and loving in every way.
Come over with a rock.
It's like, what problem do you have with my mother?
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I'm gonna keep playing this real quick.
Damn.
Yeah,
She just
last night.
said that. Like, she don't normally bullshit. Normally when she says she's laying something down, she lays it down.
You're too gullible. Did you really think that was going to happen, hon?
She ain't laying nothing down.
No. We love you, but you're gullible, Rogie.
Who's saying that? I'm trying to look. Talk again.
I thought I agree.
Okay, I have a lot to say on this, Evelyn. So Ken and I, please don't keep everything in here. But Ken and I have been filing DMCA claims for a year now, and it is still up. Reddit, that subreddit is literally, I may have to hire an attorney because it is damn near impossible to take down. there's content creators, influencers that have had snark pages about them, and they had to file multiple DMCA claims, which is just a copyright. There's no set limit of like, okay, 500 of these you get banned or whatever, 3 strikes are out. That does not happen for Reddit. You just have to continuously keep reporting, but it's like some things get taken down, some things don't, but it doesn't give them a punishment. It just takes down the content. So getting that subreddit taken down has been me and Ken's priority, and it is damn near impossible.
Mm.
Heard Starlight say that there's like 40,000 people on that I don't go on Reddit. I don't understand it really.
There's 22,000.
Okay, so she lied. Okay, I should have known that. Okay, I'm gullible too,
Roger.
Gypsy, Angie wants to know, can we help with reporting, or does it have to be you and Ken?
For the Reddit, it does ask for like, I'm trying to calm Aurora right now. It does ask for like your address. So I'm going to look at the form again, and I'm going to see if I could just give you the email address to use and the address to use. We're trying to go for a nappy right now. I had to mute for a second.
Girl, it's mom life. We're good.
It
promise.
is too late in the day for a nap, Gypsy. You put that little girl to sleep right now. She will not sleep tonight. You listen to it. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, girl.
She has it all day.
You keep her. You go put her in the bath. We'll put her in the bath. It's gonna wake her up for like 2 more hours.
Okay.
Then put her in bed for the night.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It really did not seem like she wanted to give any attention to Aurora there. Whatever she was going through with us, which is really a non-issue because we're a non-issue. You know, we're just speaking the truth. And she's not wanting to pay attention to her daughter.
Yeah, because the subreddit Into the Weeds is her biggest priorities right now.
Why?
He literally said that. The GRB snark, that subreddit, and Into the Weeds. Yeah.
What about your literal daughter?
Someone, I think it was Fluffy Muffin, maybe. I can't, the comment scrolled too fast and I lost it, but someone said Dee Dee had to listen to this for 23 years.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not really so much to say about it. I mean, we've all kind of known this was probably happening in the background all along. Just to have the confirmation is interesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's another thing that I heard in 2024 and stuff, and thought sounded crazy, like that Gypsy would have a whole Discord, like talking about creators and stuff. I'm like, well, you know, she does have a lifetime contract. Like, surely she's a little distracted, but no. Never give Gypsy Rose credit because it'll be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely seems to be the way it is. I have a few more thoughts, but I don't want to, you know, bring anybody else into anything, but it's a complicated situation.
I can go ahead and drop down. You can speak freely, my friend.
I mean, I'm not going to go too crazy. My mom asked me not to. Well, I also didn't really even want to, but yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I almost can't hold myself back from saying this one thing. All I'm going to say is that was released, and I'm just, you know, I don't understand why it wasn't told to us before it was released, and that's all I have to say about that. And y'all can infer after that what you want to. But, you know, we're all our own people. We make our own decisions. So anyway, thank you so much for joining in tonight, Millennial. I
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate y'all.
It was a good live stream. I'm going to be talking to Rebranded Story. Maybe I won't feel well, it depends on how she wants the live to go. I was like, maybe I won't feel as much of an ass saying it somewhere else, but I also don't want to be an ass saying it on her stream either. So, but yeah, anyway, thank you so much. So
Thank you. I'll go ahead and drop down so you can finish out.
that was really pretty much it, but thank you. Have a great night, Millie.
Thank you, you too.
Have a good night. Bye. Yeah, so I want to respect other people's boundaries, but I've made my thoughts clear on certain situations in the past, just on different platforms, and it's not that hard to figure it out. So that's all I'm really gonna say on that, because again, I'm trying to be respectful of other people that have nothing to do with this. But that being released, yeah, I have some thoughts, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. But anyway, we have some really cool things coming up, though. So please stay tuned, and I promise you guys will be shocked and surprised, maybe. So just thank you for tuning into the weeds, and I hope that my mom continues to enjoy her time. I can't remember where she's at now, if she's in Idaho or Utah or someplace in that area. I don't remember. I haven't had geography in a while anyway. But yeah, so thank you all for joining us. My screen is flipped, but you can kind of see. Do you see my Rico's hat? Hannah Montana. I've been binging the shit out of that recently. So anyway, catch me on Rebranded Stories live stream here in about an hour and a half. So I'm going to set an alarm so that I don't fall asleep. I won't. Don't feel bad. Rebrand. I'll figure it out. I just need to make sure I'm good. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be on there. I'm excited. It'll be fun to talk a little bit. And thank you for coming on as I host the show. So a big shout out to Millennial. Make sure that you're following Millennial if you're not already. And have a great day. As my mom would say, make the world a better place, or something nice and mushy like that. Good night, everyone.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.